Thanks for logging on to Wayne.com for another edition of Inside the Zone with Blake Sebring of the News Sentinel. I'm Glenn Marini, and we'll start off with us giving you props, Blake. You said that the Komets would catch Evansville. You would think it would be this week when they've got two games with them at home Friday, Saturday, but they did it last week with a great week of hockey.
Well, in the schedule, they might even pass them before they get to the Friday, Saturday games. True. Because the schedule sets up. Because Evansville's got to go to Missouri, which is not an easy place to play, and they're really, really struggling right now. And the Komets go to Dayton, which I think is like the ultimate trap game the rest of the way. This is the game that they really, really got to be careful of because Larry Sterling could get hot, and if they don't score some goals early, they're going to lose this game.
Larry,
yeah.
You got to get in his head early. You got to score early on Larry Sterling. Do not let him make saves on you.
I think it'd be interesting sometime to see what would happen if they didn't chant his name at the Coliseum and see. He'd be freaking out.
He'd be like, "What?
He would
is
like,
the
what?
deal?
Yeah, he wouldn't have any idea how to play.
You guys don't respect me anymore. You don't respect me enough to hate me." Well, they say championship teams do two things: they win on the road and they win close games. For most of last week, that's exactly what we saw from the Komets. So I will pose this to you.
And all the guys that we got on last week for not having any scoring,
they were good.
They were good. They all got going.
Especially in Quad City on Friday night. But is this a championship Komet team the way it is constructed right now with everyone healthy?
Yes.
And looking out the rest of the schedule?
Yes. Now, do they have to do certain things? Of course. They are not going to beat Wichita head-to-head defensively. Wichita is really, really good, and Wichita was down 4 or 5 of their best players yesterday. Komets are really, really good, too. You add in Dustin Molly and you add in Brett Smith, that's a whole new ball game, too. But the Komets have got to fix their power play. That is the number one thing they have to concentrate on. Somehow, some way, fix the power play, get one more goal per game, and then they're a championship team.
I thought you would say that, so I looked at the numbers. This week, 5 of 16 on the power play. Yeah. They only gave up 2 of 16 chances on the penalty kill.
What did they do against the good teams? What did they do against Wichita when they needed a power play? When they needed to get some good shots and get some chances, what did they do?
But I want to say Jamie Milam stepping up again from the defense, scoring. He's been such a nice factor.
How about how well he did and all the defensemen did on that 5-on-3 power play in the first period? I mean, they blocked more shots than Wichita got on net by far. I mean, Leo was amazing. Leo was back to be a nasty, ornery, slash you, elbow you. Leo, it's like, where have you been? And I was getting all over him yesterday about it, teasing him about it, and he's like, yeah, I got to get back to that. Like, no kidding. That's the Leo we all love. Where have you been?
Hollywood, Leo Thomas doing what he does best.
Get under people's skin.
You got to love that. So going through last week, Tuesday night they go to Quad City. They win 3-2 R10.
After they're down again.
Right, but they come back all the way, which is a beautiful thing. They love playing in Quad. If we could play every game at Quad City, not at the Coliseum, if you would play every game at Quad City, you'd like win 90% of the time.
Well, and again, why is it so important to finish first? Because you might end up playing Quad City in the first round. You know, you get done with them quick, that's a possibility. I'm not saying it's going to happen because, you know, Quad City has a much better team this year than they've had. But if you can get through them quickly because of that, because Nick is gold at Quad City, you know, then you can rest up while maybe Evansville and Rapid City or Evansville and Missouri beat the crap out of each other because they've had all close games all year.
At Quad City, that's like a home-and-home series practically for the Komets, the way they've been playing at Quad City this year. Wednesday, at home against Bloomington this past week. Again, it goes to overtime, as I was mentioning, winning those close games. Risk right there in the crease. Tell me a little bit about that game-winning goal. I mean, I saw it on video because you see, I mean, it's a split second before the goal comes off its moorings.
Well, and you've got guys, too. You've got to remember, Risk doesn't play with Chris Auger that much. But he saw that Auger was charging hard down the wing, and he knew he wasn't going to get the pass. He was just going to go to the net. So he went to the net just as hard as Chris was going down the wing, which was totally key to the whole thing because that split the defenseman. The one guy had to go decide where he was going, which left the shot open for Chris and also allowed JM to get to the front of the net. So the goaltender tips the puck up, and it goes right into JM's chest and in, and then he gets hit from behind by the defenseman to knock the mooring off. And the referee was right there. I mean, he saw the whole thing.
As much as we bang on the referees, a pretty good call in a very, very crucial part of the game.